Shall we get started then?
Yes.
All right.
Well,
Well,
that sounded like a great opening line right there.
an
Yeah.
opening line. That's right. That's what we need now. It's an opening line. They said Alan was saying he could see my lips moving, but he couldn't hear me talking. And then I said that since I'm a lawyer, people probably assume I'm just lying since my lips
Yeah.
are moving.
That's
All
it.
right, now welcome everybody to Aids to Scouting. It's a program that we hope will be useful to older scouts who are leaders in their troops and to the scouter world, the adults who are active in scouting and we hope to be seen eventually worldwide. And so that's the goal toward which we are working. Now tonight we are very fortunate to have Alan Bauer here, and Alan's going to give us his background a little bit, and then he's going to tell us. I believe we're going to speak tonight mostly about WoodBadge and what
Okay.
WoodBadge means. Isn't that your expertise within scouting, Alan?
You just pick a subject and I'll go on for hours.
There we go. Well, Alan, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. So my name, obviously, by my tag, is Alan Bauer, and I joined scouting in 1968 at the Cub Scouts to work my way up through to Eagle Scout, and then 1978. Obviously, I turned old enough to become an adult scouter, so I was considered an assistant scoutmaster at that time at 18. And then I moved down to Georgia in 1983 and got hooked up with another troop in Tyrone. And when they offered the first WoodBadge course in Flint River Council, I was not able to get on that one, but the second one I was. And I just had a ball with it. It was like reliving my scouthood. I had all the skills down, so when we climbed the hill at at the canoe base, we did all our scout skills. We tied the woggle and we got our totem chip on the way up and did a little map and compass pacing off there and all the things that I've already done as a scout. Excuse me, were all fresh. So it was like walking the park for me to do that. And luckily, I had two other Eagle Scouts in my patrol, plus of those 6 people there, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them were military, 5 of them were leaders already in troops. So we all fit together really well and gelled almost instantly, I thought. Of course, they couldn't let us go on like that with staff. But I knew that when we had the first morning wake up and we had our coach counselor come up, it was Jolinda Ingram. Bless her heart, she stuck with us thick and thin, and it's a good thing she did. We took good care of her. But day 2, we had hot coffee, and there was a line of red jackets coming down the line with their cup in hand, and we were making coffee as fast as we could. And there's probably 8 or 10 of them there looking for coffee, and we provided. So that was another feather. Yes, sir.
Before we go on, I think what I'd like to do is make sure that people understand what WoodBadge, the purpose of WoodBadge. And so I think it was started in about 1920, wasn't it? The whole program. And do you have your woggle with you by any chance to show us all?
I don't have it on hand, but it's in the house.
Well, it's a simple little wooden thing that has 2 or 3 wooden beads on it. And I believe Baden Powell came up with the woggle, didn't he?
Well, that was the Turk's head knot for your neckerchief. The woggle.
I see. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
And then the beads were from Denny Zulu, who we had thousands of, remember?
Yes.
BP couldn't have forgotten that already.
Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
funny.
But
Let
but
me
what I
let
was
me
going
ask you. Let me interrupt for just a moment. When you said, okay, you started at Scouts in 1968, and 10 years later, in '78, is when you became an adult scouter,
Correct.
and then you said you moved in '83 to Georgia. So this puts you at about what, 22 years old at that point?
Right.
Okay.
My birthday is late in the year, so I
Mine's.
actually started it in '68 when school started in September or
Mhm.
August. Um, I was 7 years old only, so I
So
started out then as a 7-year-old Cub Scout instead of an 8-year-old Cub Scout.
right,
But it's only like by a couple months, and then I turned 8 years old, and it was fine. But
right.
they started the Webelos program that year. Lions used to be the last stage of scouting, Cub Scouting. It
Mhm.
was wolf, bear, and then lion. And then Lion Scouts were taken out, and they put Webelos in. We'll be loyal scouts is
Mhm.
that acronym, and that started in '68.
Okay.
So they gave you at that time they gave you 15 activity pins to do in 1 year in 12 months. And I got all of mine. I did my Arrow of Light. Everybody graduated from my patrol or den, as it were then,
Mhm.
and we all moved on and started the troop. So my troop number back then was 715
Mhm.
out of Chicago Area Council,
Mhm.
and we were in the Chippewa district. And I don't know what else you want me to wander on with. I don't
Well,
know.
I
I
wanted to.
believe
I
that
wanted to.
when we talk about wood badge and when people are coming into scouting, older people, and they I believe the essence of wood badge is that you take the adults and you put them in what is an ideal patrol, and they learn to work the patrol system as if they were scouts again.
Right,
And so that, and because too many, it seems to me, just old man that I am, it seems to me that far too many people have adopted what I call car camping, where the
right,
all the boys show up, the all the adults do the cooking, the adults take all the responsibility. No, not much leadership is learned by the boys or responsibility for their own failures. For example, if they ruin their dinner through
right,
cooking or not being able to build fire, so we learned the patrol system was originally uh, envisioned to give the boys as much possible responsibility as they could have,
right.
and wood badge is a reminder of that and an example of that, and so that's kind of what I want people to take away from our talk tonight is how
Okay.
important and how valuable it was. For example, what did you learn there? We know that you enjoyed a second childhood scouting experience and you were with good people, but
Right.
but but what did you learn about the whole scout program through Wood Badge?
Can
That's a loaded question.
and I want to let me direct it a little bit differently, actually, if you don't mind, Walker.
Of course
Um,
not.
so '83, moved to Georgia. Not the first wood badge, but the second one for the Flint River Council that came through. Is this
Correct.
putting you at about 25 years old? Is that what I'm gathering?
I was no, I want to say it was 92
Okay, so it was a bit
when
later.
when the second wood badge started.
Okay.
First wood badge was SE 584,
Hmm.
and mine was SR 32 2 years later.
2 years
And I
later.
want to say
Okay.
it was started in 92, and I went through to 94 before I actually finished my ticket, got all
So,
my things
so you
done.
were about 30 something at that point. Then is that right?
92. I would have been right at 32 years old,
32. Okay. Well,
31 and a half. Yeah.
that's better because the reason I'm saying better is because you may know is I went through the program Wood Badge when I was 18, and
Right.
I was straight out of straight out, I hadn't even finished with venture crew yet. I was still an active member in my venture crew at that point. So I'm
Right.
still technically a youth in scouting. And I
Right.
think, and for other older
Well,
scouts that are in the program now, I want to get this. I just want to smack them in the face with this. At 18, 19, 20 years old, you're not ready for WoodBadge.
no.
And
The
like you would,
original
yeah,
the
go.
original requirements for WoodBadge were you had to have at least 2 years of service in a troop or somewhere else as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have 2 years of leadership experience before they would even consider you to be eligible to go to WoodBadge.
Well, that makes
So,
sense.
and that was also along the time of the change of how WoodBadge progressed from answering 30 doctor level questions, like for a doctorate, to they did. I had 9 skills or nine. I had 9 items on my ticket
Mm-hmm.
to go through. I had to have 3 for the troop or the district or council. I had to have 3 for personal growth, and then I had to have, or maybe it was 3 for the council, 3 for the troop, and 3 for personal growth.
Mm-hmm.
So that by the time I got done, I had 9 items to finish for my ticket per se.
Mm-hmm.
And we did 2 3-day weekends. Started Friday morning at 7 a.m., ended Sunday night, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. That was a tough one to go back to work that next Monday.
I imagine so. I
So
imagine.
one of the things I did learn from WoodBadge was how to network with people. And I know it sounds kind of, I don't know, tongue in cheek maybe, but I also learned that there are some questions you just don't ask the paid staff. You just don't, because you know you're not going to like the answer.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to people that you know can help you
Mm-hmm.
get this situation resolved, whatever it is, and you go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Having those, and they taught you 11 leadership skills, starting with communications all the way down to, I don't remember what it was, needs of the group, and a bunch of different things. And as you finished each item, each portion requirement of your ticket, you had to write a review saying which of those 11 scout skills they taught you you used to finish your ticket. Well, ultimately, you use all 11 of them every time you do a ticket item. And if they finally drove it into your head, that's what you're doing. You have to communicate. You have to have the needs of the group, the needs of yourself. Um, how do we manage problems that we come up with, conflicts involved? And there's 11 of those type skills that they were trying to teach us to get through this program, and how you could sit back and reflect on what you've become after learning all these skills. And it taught me, my biggest takeaway was networking, like I said, and of course who to ask and who not to ask. So
That's exactly what happened to me. That's how you're here this evening. Is
right,
my wood badge experience. I'm saying it in jest a little, but it's certainly true. Um, I wanted. I was too young when I did wood badge, but because of my previous experience staffing at National Youth Leadership Training, and
right,
because I was still freshly in the troop for lack of a better term,
right,
um, I didn't look at it all the way that I would if I would if I were to do it right now. You know, being almost 30 myself, but even still would probably rather have 2 years of leadership experience inside as an adult scouter in the troop that I'm currently in now.
right. And I thought that as well. Being on that course with you as a
Yeah,
staffer,
yeah.
I had a feeling you were too new, too young yet, too immature
Yeah.
not developed into your adulthood yet, where you could actually glean more from the instruction involved. I
Right.
thought you guys, you and your few buddies, was it 3 or 4 of you guys were all
Hmm.
18, 19, and
Yeah.
you were laying waste all about you, which is I loved it. It
Hmm.
really kind of shook the weeds up with some of those older scouters.
Hmm.
But what are they doing? They're crazy. He's running out in the field. That's not right.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I also used not just myself, but you're right. Connor was one of the other ones. Connor Meerholtz and Carter Broxton, I think, were the two other that were. I don't remember if Nick Whitfield was there at the same year that I was.
well, at least 3 of you were.
At least
So
three of us. At least three of us were young like that, and you're right. We used that to our advantage. We knew the program because all three of us were NYLT people, and we knew practically any facet of WoodBadge is just older version of NYLT. For That's not entirely true, but
close enough.
it's close enough.
Right.
And because of that, we use that to our advantage. We already knew what was about to be said in all the presentations, and it's funny, but I really wish that I hadn't been. I don't remember who it was initially or finally who convinced me to go to WoodBadge then, but I really wish I hadn't done it because I didn't complete my tickets because like you said, I wasn't mature enough. I wasn't quite ready for it. And I want to put that out into the ether as we talk about the importance of WoodBadge and what it can do is that you should be ready for WoodBadge before you go. It's not just something that you want to just jump into on a whim. I think it'd be even better if troops would vote like they do for the Order of the Arrow or something like that to put certain adults into WoodBadge.
Well, it used to be by invitation only. On
Wow.
top of that,
All these
you
used to
had to be
things are
asked.
great.
You had to be asked by someone in your district or council if you even would like to attend. Because they approached my dad a lot of times. He was my scoutmaster in Chicago,
Hmm.
and he only got 2 weeks of vacation every year. He
Yeah.
says, "Nope, I ain't going. I'm not wasting it on Wood Badge. I have 2 weeks of summer camp with my troop, and
Hmm.
that's where I'm going." And that was end of story. So
And more power to him,
yeah,
more power to him for that. Because WoodBadge,
I
I
wish
don't,
he had gone.
yeah.
I think he would have gotten a lot out of it because there were people in his office. He was an electrical engineer by design, by trade, and he was a suit and tie kind of guy. And uh, there were several people in the building. He worked in a high rise downtown Chicago. Halliburton Root was the company
Hmm.
that were scouters that went through Wood Badge as well. And I think he would have got a lot out of it networking in that respect too.
Hmm.
Get to know all the
Well,
people, not only in your patrol, but in the whole troop that you're with.
Hmm.
well,
A
that
lot
kind
of
of
people will take the Wood Badge course from out of council.
Hmm.
Like they'll go up to Atlanta area council, or we had some come up from New Orleans area.
Yes,
Um, Matter of fact, the same week you were there for years,
that's right.
and that's good. You get the network, but your network is now not in your council, so that makes it tougher for you to go back to your council with the wrong network of people that you don't get to bond with anymore, and you still have the same feelings for everybody there, but it's harder for you then to take that knowledge you've gotten from Wood Badge and apply it to the people in your council that
Hmm.
you don't know who's the who's a Wood Badger, who's not. Yeah, if they wear their beads or something, you'll get to know them.
Hmm.
But until then, and it's still not the same thing. You know, they'd
Yeah.
say a lot of people, "Oh, you're picking on my critter." I say, "Well, suck it up, buddy. It's
Yeah.
just a game, man. That's all it is."
It's just a game.
And some folks just don't understand that. So I don't know.
Walker.
Don't know what
Where
else to say on that one.
is Walker seems like his mic is muted. I
Yep,
don't
it
know how
does
to.
look like that.
I don't know how to unmute it.
Well, maybe he's snoring.
Hopefully not. So
Well, he
I
can hear us probably though.
maybe hopefully I want to.
Yeah,
I want to ask you this. I've got my two older children in Troop 66,
right.
and they're enjoying their time. And I'm on the troop committee. I'm not as active as I'd hoped I might be, but it's not because I don't want to be. It's mostly because I've got so much extra things going on in my life that
Right.
I don't. It's not just 1 hour a week. You know that. You know
1 hour
that
a
deep
week
down.
per boy per unit, you know. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's actually so. I want to be a bit more active because I want to go back to WoodBadge and do it again and get what I think I owe myself out of the program. Does that make sense?
It does. It would be awesome if you did go. I would wholeheartedly suggest that you do that.
But
When you
when
get
is
the
the right
opportunity.
so but y- and so when if opportunity were to arise, what is the best? Should I wait until my kids get ranked up a little bit? Should I wait until I'm on an assistant scoutmaster level, or should I just suck it up and when the next one comes up, hopefully it doesn't get canceled and I go to that one?
There will probably never be a perfect time for you to do that.
Hmm.
That's just going to have to be one of those gut reactions. Um, damn it, I'm going to do this,
Yeah.
and just do it. I mean, my job as a tool and die maker, I worked 6 days a week, 10 to 12 hours a day, plus scouting, plus having the marriage and 3 kids to deal with and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So, uh, troop meetings and then OA stuff. And then I was gone at least one weekend a month, sometimes 2 or 3 with the OA and everything else going on. So it just came down to, damn it, I'm just going to do it. And I told my boss, I said, listen, I'm going to be gone from these weekends to these weekends.
Hmm.
You just need to know. You
Hmm.
fire me, that's fine. I'm
Hmm.
good with that. I'll
The
find a
choice
job
is made.
on the way home.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be gone these 3 days for these 2 or 3 weekends. I just want you to be aware of it.
So since you've been doing, or since you've been, I mean, active at least since 1968 and an adult scouter since 78, and then doing the WoodBadge thing in the early 90s with Jolinda and them. Which
Right.
first of all, let me say I love Jolinda Ingram and Gene Ingram. Those are the two my most favorite people in the world. I think they were the they started my troop 65, my home troop.
Right.
So I got to spend a lot of time with them in my youth, and
Oh,
they're so
cool.
great.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Ingram family
There you
and
go.
Jacob too, their son. You've been an active wood badger, I'll say, since the early 90s. When it
Right.
comes to being a professional outside of scouting and the time that scouting takes, and especially wood badge, the extra hours that you have to take off work to do things, how do you go about dealing with that with your employer? And has it, because it hadn't obviously I guess it hadn't been the same employer all these years,
I've
right?
had basically 2 employers.
Okay, so maybe it is
But
the
the
same.
first one who I went with,
Mhm,
actually 3 if you count my uncle, but that was
mhm.
only for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Then he sold the business out from under me, and I had to find work anyway.
Rats.
Uh, but he taught me a lot, so I'm not going to diss him on that. He taught me an excellent amount of stuff. But my first employment was with Ditech Industries, and the owner of that company was an Eagle Scout from out of Grand Rapids. The whole family, the 3 boys, and the dad was a scoutmaster, and so the Wizarchinsky family, great people, and they taught me a lot about tool and die. And then I kind of taught them a lot about scouting back because they said, I was an Eagle Scout. I said, well, I am an Eagle Scout. And we kind of fought that battle a little bit where you're, once an Eagle, always an Eagle kind of thing.
Mhm,
And I think he cut me a lot of slack because I was good at what I did
mhm,
and I would get my stuff done and then head off to scouting for if it was a weekend thing or a whole 3-day weekend or whatever, uh, I'd take some pallets from the skids of steel that would come in and bust them up and throw them in the truck, and away we'd go.
Hmm.
So I had firewood with me when I went, and um, which is all the stuff that we burned down there during wood badges. I'm the firewood guy, so I always bring that, and it's
Very
hot, burns
important guy.
hot. Yep, take care of the Klondike firewood, and
Hmm.
that burns hot. So everybody knows that when the big fire's going, I brought it, and that's cool too.
Let me ask you on. Obviously, we've been personal this whole time. Your nickname, as my dad has told me, is Southside Al. Why do they call you Southside Al?
Because I'm from the south side of Chicago,
Oh, that's it.
the
There's
baddest
not a
part of
fun,
town.
crazy
Remember?
story. Oh,
Bad
okay.
Leroy Brown?
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. That makes.
Well, and you probably know Jim McCarthy. He was from the north side
Mm-hmm.
of Chicago. He was a Cubs fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was a Sox fan.
I
Not
see.
really, but that's how we played it off each other.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I was south side, he was north side.
Okay, so that was just a play on that year, and it just never stopped. Is that it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I've been known as a lot of other names too, but,
Mm-hmm.
Guido, Alphonse, the Enforcer, whatever, things like that. And
That's
I'll play
funny.
into any name you want me to. I don't care.
Yeah.
So,
I think we might have lost our host, so that makes me the new host for now, and that's okay.
yeah.
He's usually the one that comes up with the questions and stuff, and
Well, I know we've probably migrated some from the original question as to what I learned or got the most from
well, that's
on
okay.
Wood
That's okay.
Badge.
My question, you like you said, your uncle was able to cut you some slack in that thing. I have a lot of trouble. My employer, it's a family company. Let me just go back. My
Okay.
employer is a family company. It's Campbell's Lawn Equipment. That's where I work. It's
Okay.
owned by a family. It's four siblings whose their father started it years and years ago. My dad has worked there literally my entire life. And when I was born, we lived in the street just behind the store, just behind the store. So I have grown up in this place.
So
I generally have no qualms with asking for time off.
right.
But
Good, because they'll know when you're playing hooky.
oh, that's
I
true.
can't
That's
go into
true.
work, boss. I'm sick.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And it's like, okay,
Look
well,
out
I
the
guess we'll
back
see you
window and see
tomorrow.
you.
Well, I might be too sick. No, I'm sure we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, you will. You're right. I can't get away with anything at that
Yeah.
company. They know me too well, and I look at the four siblings as pretty much like my uncles and my aunt.
Right.
Anyways, so that being said, I still kind of feel weird about taking off, bing, 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 3 Fridays in a row, or 4 Fridays if you're on staff or something,
Right.
maybe five. I still feel weird about that. And as you've done this for so many years, when wood badge time rolls around, is for somebody that's in not as a forgiving job as you and I may be for
Right.
time off, how do you think one would go about? I don't even know
You
what I'm
have to
trying to ask
ask
because I know it's difficult for some people.
you have to ask yourself the question on your deathbed. Man, I should have spent more time working than with my family, right? How can you answer that question? So, to me, going to do wood badge is a greater, it's a more patriotic thing than going to work 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Because ultimately, and even uh, Baden Powell set up scouting to make better citizen soldiers
Mhm,
than he did leaders.
mhm.
That came later with the wood badge, right?
Right.
So his goal has we as Americans have morphed his vision,
Mhm,
and we've made it not necessarily easier, but we've pushed people into it too soon, I think.
Yeah.
And we've kind of cheapened up some of the things that you don't learn the scout skills on the way up to your campsite anymore, which was another thing. Um, I had to have it set up as a quartermaster that your tents are all set up, ready to go. All you had to do is open the flap and move in.
Hmm.
On my course, I had to get my compass out, take some bearings, walk the paces off, find our campsite, go back to the quartermaster, the main quartermaster, get our tents, get our hammocks or bunks, get our patrol chest, our picnic table, get all that moved up to our campsite, set up camp, and then wait for the next instruction. Oh, and you only got an hour
Hmm.
to get all that done. So that's why they wanted you to have at least 2 years of scout leader experience. So you had the ability to go ahead and do that. So right now, you just show up and we assign you your tent and you're good. So now they're taking another day out of scouting, another day out of the WoodBadge course. So it's down to 5. And we're shortchanging ourselves because we're cutting out, I think, important aspects of the scout program. Our staff of WoodBadge is supposed to model the model troop. Well, if you take out some of those things, how do we model it if we don't show you? So there's some slippage up there, way high up at national.
Hmm.
Um, that's wrong.
Yeah.
That's
That's
why I
okay.
don't.
Hey, listen, we're not an officially sanctioned podcast. This is our own
Well,
personal,
that's good
private.
then because they're a
Yes,
bunch of.
yes. We
Never
can
mind.
say whatever we.
I can't say that. That's not good.
No,
Um,
no. We still have to live with the scout law. Remember that.
that's right. We still have to live with the scout law and the scout oath, but I think that the people they choose
Hmm.
to be leaders in the national scouting movement
Hmm.
should
These
be
are
Eagle
businessmen.
Scouts.
Yes,
Should be
100%.
Eagle Scouts.
Or at least
Mm,
have made it to first class.
It even further.
Okay.
First class gets you all the skills.
Hmm.
Star in life puts the icing on the cake, kinda, and then
Hmm.
you're the finished product of Eagle. But you
I
have to have
definitely.
the right. You have to have the right troop bringing you up to that point.
Yeah, it
You
can't be
can
a
rubber stamp
13-year-old
Eagles all
Eagles.
day, and I've
Yeah,
seen some like that.
yeah.
You
I
know,
have to.
uh, when I used to do the reviews for Eagles at Coweta District,
Hmm.
and I would put a knife, a compass, and a rope on the table as they came in, and I would see their eyes and their face like, oh no, they're going to make me tie a knot, or oh no, I've got to do a map thing. I don't know how to do that. That tells me they're not Eagle Scout material.
No,
But
yeah.
my hands are tied because the leaders previous to that, and they may have known those skills at one time.
Hmm.
I'm not doubting that.
Yeah.
But if you don't practice it all the time, you're going to lose it,
Hmm.
right? So
Absolutely.
if I went up to you and said, "Hey, Elliott, what's the 2 stars stand for on the Scout badge, the Scout First Class badge?" And you'd tell me,
I forgot.
"Oh, I forgot," right? So
Um.
so that was part of my training. Me and my buddy would sit in the back of the school bus every day for Arrow of Light, which is part
Hmm.
of the Scout badge. And
Hmm.
we had to know all the parts of the Scout badge, and we had to know the outdoor code, and we had to know the oath and the law and the Pledge of Allegiance and how to salute and when to salute and that was just ingrained into me. That was just something I took to heart. So you got to be able to do that. I tie knots all the time. I mean, I'm the knot guy. I'm the lashing guy. I'm the splice guy. I'm
The knot
the
at the
first aid
bottom
guy.
of the knot at the bottom of the badge is a reminder to do a good turn daily. The
Right.
scroll is supposed to remind you to smile and be
Yep.
happy. And also
Scout
says
is
be
friendly. Right.
prepared. Yes. It says be prepared on there.
Right.
Oh, goodness gracious. Come on, come on. The stars are something. It's something. Oh my gosh, I know this.
Truth
I
and
got it.
knowledge.
Truth and knowledge. Oh, I was thinking honor and something else, but I was like, that doesn't sound right. It
That's
doesn't
not
sound
right. So, the eagle and the
truth
shield,
and knowledge.
symbols of the country, right?
Yes.
The
Yes.
3 points, the fleur de lis, the
Hmm.
3 points of the scout law, right?
Hmm.
Or scout oath. And then
Yeah.
right. And
The
then
scout.
the center point is points north on the compass. That was the other kicker for the fleur de lis.
Mm.
And fleur de lis means flower of the
Flower of the
lily.
field. Oh, Lily.
Right.
I said fields. Why did I say fields? What is
I don't
that
know.
for? I don't know. Figure it out someday.
Yeah.
Um, I wanted to I've always feel a bit of shame when I talk about the little tenure and wood badge that I had and not having completed my tickets, which is also another reason why I'd like to go back as kind of a self-redemption thing. I know
Right.
that all of you wood badgers, especially those that are, close friends with my dad after so many years, which, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
which reminds me, my check has stopped coming for
Yeah?
that friendship thing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Having to cough
I'll
it
get
up.
him on the line. I'll have to get
Yeah.
him on the line. I asked him to do the podcast, and he says, "No, I don't. What would I talk about?" I'm like, "Dad,
Dude, you can't shut
what?
him up.
What do you mean?" He's like, "I'll just be coughing the whole time." I'm like, "So the mic will cut it out. It'll be fine. If it's loud
Yeah.
enough, it'll cut it out." So, anyways,
Well, once again, I got to be the big brother and show him how to do it.
yeah, and I'll
So,
I'll tag him in this episode. I'll
yeah.
I'll post it on his Facebook wall just to make fun of just just to poke him a little bit about it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd ask him. I'd ask him a bunch of super personal inside questions, and it wouldn't. I don't. It actually may
Well,
not
maybe
be that
let Chandler
interesting.
take over then. That's all.
Yeah,
You know.
maybe. I'd have to set up my dad's background for it though, wouldn't I? I hope my honest hope is that I like to consume podcasts audio by audio only. I don't really care to watch them on YouTube or anything like that. So hopefully we'll get to a point where we can if this grows in the way that we're hoping it will, that we can get a little studio spot or make one in a basement or something like that
Right.
where I can be in person and maybe invite people to a physical place.
That
But
would be nice.
this seems to be working for now, just because my schedule, I work 50 hours a week and I get off at 6 and I've got the family stuff to do and
Right.
can't do it Tuesday nights and can't do it some Friday nights and can't do it Monday nights and all that stuff. So
Right.
I I fit it
You
in where I
squeeze it in where
can.
you can.
Exactly, and I've been really enjoying working with Mr. Chandler about this too. He's got a great vision for what he wants to see this be, and I'm excited. I'm along for the ride. This isn't my first podcast ride. My first two podcasts or three podcasts were just this seems to be going somewhere
Oh,
because
good.
I've got a great vision in my head about what I'd like it to be as well.
Yeah, I'm totally clueless, so go ahead.
Well,
I can't even spell podcast, so I'm technically I'm that Robert Fox. I walk past the computer and I smoke the hard drive. Just it's just the way I am.
you still have two screens.
Yeah. Well, it's not my doing.
Oh, I see.
It's for my wife who's a wizard at computers,
Okay, well,
and
then
I'm not. If
it
it doesn't
fits.
come up when the power comes up, I'm
Yeah.
lost.
My wife can fix the dryer, I cannot. So I
Oh,
totally get it.
I can rebuild the dryer. I've
Yeah,
done that plenty of times.
yeah. She
Oh,
can.
honey, it stopped working now. Oh, okay, let me see what's wrong with it this time.
I may never
You know,
hear if it stopped working.
yeah.
She just fixes it anyways. Sh
Trust me,
So,
you'd get a phone call the middle of the day. Bring your
yeah.
tools home. Fix the dryer.
The this is gonna this podcast, I feel, because of all this effort that I'm putting into it and the reasoning behind all this effort, it feels like my wood badgeless ticket almost. Because I've had to learn how to do some pretty crazy program stuff on my own
Right.
website that I'm hosting. Because every time I do this podcast, every new iteration of whatever radio show that I'm doing,
Right.
all the technology has changed in the 2 years that I wasn't doing it, you know what I mean? So I get back on these websites and the buttons that I used to press to make things happen don't even exist anymore. Or
Right.
they've changed completely and I have to learn how to write this type of feed or host it on this platform and then let it host from this one to this one and then keep going. I
Yeah.
just have to learn so much. And that brings me to the WoodBadge, me going back to WoodBadge once again. I feel like this has kind of just been me thinking about going back to WoodBadge and just running it by you this whole time. Is that what it feels like?
I'm all for it. If you get the opportunity, I would take it.
Yeah, I and
'Cause
I
just from your own personal satisfaction, completing
that
the ticket, right? That's
yeah,
really what you fell down at,
yeah,
completing the ticket.
it
So
was because I feel
you've
like
been to all the stuff. Now you'll probably get a better feel for some of the items that they would discuss
mhm,
because you're an older adult now.
mhm,
You don't have that, you know, slap ass around kind of attitude as a kid.
right,
You've got some experience in you now. You've got a family, you've got kids of your own,
mhm,
and you'll take it differently. And
yeah.
as you grow older, more mature, and if say you take it 10 years from now, you would take it even more differently than you would if you took it today.
Are you
So,
limited to the amount of times that you can go to WoodBadge?
well, as a redoing a person like a participant,
Mhm,
probably not.
okay.
Um, I don't know why you'd want to go past three though. If you can't get into three, you're just a failure. I mean, just hang it up, buddy.
Yeah, yeah, knock it off. Get
Right.
out of here. Get
Um,
out of here. Go do
but
YMCA or
actually, I
something.
think there was a person that came back for a third time,
Really?
and it was because he had to drop out of the last two courses previous, and he
Mm,
finally made it,
well, good.
um, which was fantastic.
And I'm guessing
Um,
it was probably work, wasn't it?
I never did ask.
Okay.
I think one was I don't think he was military, but he may have been.
Mhm,
I think one was family and one
mhm,
might have been work.
mm. That was
Unfortunately.
where my head was earlier is I get nervous asking off, for some scout camp stuff because 'cause I'm like, "I'm wanting to go to camp and kinda get down there a little bit early. Do you mind if I book it out of here 3 hours early?" And they're like, we really need you to move these lawnmowers in at the end of the day." And I'm like,
Really?
"Yeah, but
You can't get off your own dead ass and moving lawnmowers? Come on.
I would never dare.
I know.
I would never dare."
Well, you don't
It's a
have
fun
age
thought,
behind you
though.
yet.
It's a fun thought, though. Yeah, you're right,
Yeah.
you're right. Once they get a
Unless
little
it
more
comes to
age, I'll
that,
just
it comes right down to, and you don't know his schedule, your
mhm,
boss's schedule. He
mhm,
might be neck deep in alligator quotes right now. You never know.
mhm, mhm,
But on the flip side, he's being lazy.
mhm.
I don't know. Tell somebody else to knock off a half hour early and move the lawnmowers in.
Yeah,
Or better
yeah.
yet, build a
Mm.
bigger building. Keep them inside. Well, what an idea.
You're making too much sense.
I
You're
know.
making too much sense, Southside out.
I get
That's
I get fired a lot for that. It's
well, it's
kind of scary sometimes when I had that job and probably the ability, my technical ability, that because I drove an hour to get work to work, I'd
mhm,
have a job before I got home.
mhm,
Because I'd call people on the way home, say, "Hey, I'm looking for work. I
mhm.
just got fired. You got any openings?" You know, kind of thing like that. And
What do you do professionally? You said you make
I
you're
was
a
a
die
tool and
maker?
die maker.
Okay, okay.
So
How
I would make parts for lawnmowers,
okay,
barbecue grills, car
yeah,
parts, um, oil dipsticks for Onan. We did stuff for WC Bradley, a lot of barbecue parts there. Snapper,
mhm,
Did a
Okay.
lot of snapper parts.
Yeah.
Um, what else did we do? Borg Warner. Borg Warner makes fan discs for every style of engine that has a radiator. They make the
Okay.
cooling fans.
Mm-hmm.
So Dytech ran every part that Borg Warner makes in their dies, and they just shoot the different plastic to it for whatever size engine it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we made discs as big as 22 or 23-inch diameter for like John Deere tractors,
Mm-hmm.
the big tractors. I've done Freightliner dies for the firewalls. We've done hinge bracket dies for Mercedes Benz. Um, just all kinds of things, automotive. And
And you said you've had basically two jobs, right?
right. The
And or
second
these
one was with Specialty Tool and Die.
okay.
Alan Head ran that. And Alan
Mm-hmm.
Head used to work for my uncle, Bob Ewer.
Okay.
He was a tool maker also under Bob's tutelage.
Okay.
And I was way down he was little Al, I was big Al. So, you know, he my uncle would joke with the customers, "Oh, I'll put my head man on it." Well, his last name was Head, Alan
That's
Head.
hilarious.
So
That's
he'd
hilarious.
play words on that. But Alan Head's a lefty. And then
Okay.
Ernie Dio came from Erie, Pennsylvania. He was a lefty. So the
Mhm.
two lefties were on the left side of the shop where their workbenches were, and everybody else was righty on the right side of the shop. So it's kind of just worked out that way. But
That's funny. So
it's kind of cute.
this was kind of like a family thing. You went in and worked with your uncle first. Is that how you got
Right.
into the
For the
tooling
first
and
two or
dies?
2.5 years.
Okay.
Um, and then he sold the shop, and Tucker Tool and Die bought it, Mike
Okay.
Tucker
Mm-hmm.
and Clyde Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
And then he sold it to Clyde. So I worked for Clyde for another 2.5 years. And then Tom Wozichinski had moved down. He was supposed to buy it from my uncle,
Mm-hmm.
and he and his brother and dad got cold feet, and they didn't. So Tom was stuck down here. He ended up hiring into Clyde, and he worked for him for another 2 years. And then Tom and Jerry started their company up, and I
Mm-hmm.
went to
Tom
work
and
for
Jerry.
him out in Carrollton.
Mm-hmm.
So that started the first 11 years after that. And then I got fired or quit or whatever, got mad at Tom and left and stomped off and
Mm-hmm.
took all my shit with me and that drained the tool room, man. Most of the
Mm-hmm.
shit we had was mine.
Yeah.
So he had to buy his own stuff.
Yeah.
It served him right too. Bought cheap shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so then
I was
I worked for Alan Head for another 11 years, and my mouth probably overloaded my ass again and got fired again. And
mm-hmm.
so that was the year I went to we went to the 2010 Jamboree.
Okay.
So I got fired in April and went to them in August when it was 100 degrees out. Yeah, what a great move.
Well.
So when I got back from that, Tom called me back again
Mhm.
to have me hire back in. So I said, yeah, why not? So I gave him another 10 years, and then I had to retire early at
Mhm.
59 because my knees gave out.
Okay.
So being an overweight fat guy and standing on your feet on concrete 10 and 12 hours a day,
Really
listening to,
beats the crap out of your knees, I imagine.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the presses, when they run 1,000-ton press, you have what they call snap through. Well, all that tonnage doesn't stay there. It doesn't evaporate once you punch through the metal. It
Mhm.
hits bottom, and that bottom shakes the whole floor. It's
And
like
you're
having a
getting that
hammer on your feet all day,
all day long. Just bow, bow, bow. Yeah.
right? And that's one of 25 presses. So having that run
Times
all day,
25.
every day,
Yeah.
24 hours a day, those presses never stop. So it takes a toll,
I imagine. When you were in a scout and scouting, like in your youth,
right?
did you take any of the metallurgy or
Not a
metalworking
one.
merit badges or anything like that? So this was
Nope.
just an interest that popped out from working with your uncle, yes?
I always knew that I wanted to do something working with my head and my hands.
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what tool and die was.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle had moved down to Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
No, when he was fresh out of high school, basically.
Mm-hmm.
He he signed up to the Air Force, and they made him a drill instructor after a while, and then he got really good at it, but he didn't like bossing people around like that. So,
What an odd
um,
job for somebody that doesn't like bossing people around.
well, he well, a DI yells at people to get them to do their stuff,
Yeah.
whereas a good leader, as you will know,
Yeah.
gets people to get buy-in, and you lead them where you want them to go. So
Yeah.
there's the difference.
Yeah.
So he stayed down here. He actually moved all the way down to Valdosta, and then they got married and moved back up to Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
where he started his shop at. So he told us years and years ago he said never hire a family member. So I never asked. And then one day, clear out of the blue, hey, when you coming down? What? I'm not coming down there. So he said, yeah, I'll see you, blah, blah, blah. And I had to finish fixing the car and
Mm-hmm.
painting it and Bondo and all that stuff, and loaded up and headed down in the middle of June. Got down there and started to work that Monday morning.
How old were you
I
just
was
then?
22.
22. Mm.
Yep.
Wow. Well,
So
Al,
that's
I know I've kept you late, and I've
time
really
is it?
it's 9:23.
9:20. Oh man, I could go for hours.
I know.
You probably
But
can't.
I probably could. I could if I wanted to, but I also worked 2 jobs today, so
Yeah.
I'm getting well,
Little tired.
actually, this will be my 3rd now. This will be
Okay.
the 3rd one. But either way, thank you so much for agreeing to come on, and maybe this will also help encourage my dad to just shut up and come on the show. Just come on. I just wanna
Yeah,
sit and
just
talk
do
about
it.
this stuff. Just do it.
Quit your whining.
I'm gonna let Walker ask him a whole bunch of questions, and I'll sit there and giggle about it for a while, and then I'll get to ask him. Then I'll get to start asking Dad some real deep scout questions. Maybe I'll make him cry. That's what I want to do. That'll be
Yeah,
fun.
there you go.
Make him get all in his feelings and cry about it, and be like, "Oh, I just miss it. Maybe I should go back and do some more of it."
Yeah.
He keeps
Well, like you can
he's the
always
guy.
ask him when they made fun of me leading that stupid quartermaster song. He was making fun of me behind my back, and I didn't even know it.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
Yeah,
just like him.
it does.
Yeah. Well, that's what
But
we're
that's
doing right
okay.
now. We're doing that right now, and that's
Yeah.
it's good. We're making fun. He needs it a little bit. He needs it. Someone's got to bully him. He's too comfortable.
Well, who better than Southside Al?
That's right. That's right. Ooh, it would be a good show if we could get all 4 of us on. That would be fun too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'd be pulling teeth trying to get him to do that. But I got a new pair of pliers from Snap-on.
There you go.
But anyways, you have a good rest of your night, and I'm gonna stay on and keep talking for just a few minutes to to the audience, I suppose.
All
And
right.
that's it.
Well,
Thanks
thank
for
you,
coming
Elliott. I
to
appreciate it.
absolutely.
Hope we answered some questions. Maybe got some people headed to WoodBadge, but if not, then if they don't want to go, then that's their fault, not mine.
If you do want to go, do it in your own council.
That would
I
be my best guess, but if you
yeah,
can't, do it where you can.
do it where you can. Absolutely.
And that'll get you the basis to do everything else you need to do in life. Teach you those 11 scout skills or 11 leadership skills and how to apply them, and
Mhm.
sky's the limit after that. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, you're
anyway,
right. All right, Al. Thank you very much.
yes, sir. You take care. I'm going to
You too.
try and get out of here, but if I don't, well, who knows? There's a red button
I'll
here somewhere.
I'll click it for you.
Okay.
All right.